Can
Mm-hmm.
so will the leaders step to the forward of the congregation? Because I thought I had heard that y'all was the leaders, and I heard that y'all control marriage. So what that mean? Hmm?
Are we
Is that
talking
why?
about?
Is
Ali,
that why
what,
you
Ali,
having this
Ali, what you
conversation?
got on that? Let me see what Ali got on that.
So,
I'll let you answer
so
that.
the biggest issue in our community is women have autonomy over their bodies, and they say they have all the power over their bodies as well too. So you have my body, my choice. You have sexual liberation. You have feminism, and you have women who left the coverage of men, their father and other men. You can't tell women what to do. So if a man wants the child, the woman will say, and she doesn't want the child, she'll say my body, my choice. But if she wanted the child, she'll say you should have wore a condom. If you majority of times we ask women, we have these conversations, if they wanted how many kids do you have, they'll say how many kids you have, and we say, well, how many, why you got that many kids? Because I wanted that many kids. So women given access, women choose who they give access to, women choose who get sex, and women choose who become fathers, and women choose if babies come into this world. So the primary responsibility is on the woman. That's their primary responsibility above all. They were supposed to marry before they carried. They fought to be able to make the choice to be liberated from men, to be liberated from having to be controlled, and they chose to be sexually liberated. So until they choose to be responsible with their womb again, we're going to have single mother homes, strong, independent women, with respect to all the sisters too.
This is what it sounds
Yeah,
like. Like where I'm from,
DJ,
this is what it.
could I get
This
Kim
is
in there real quick, and then we
yeah.
come
I
back
just
to
want
you?
to say this is what it sounds like when you talk yourself out of pussy because y'all keep telling us to choose better. For
DJ.
What would you tell me if I was trying to use money to buy love, and I was trying to use money to get a woman's cooperation? What kind of guy would you think I am? What would you say to me?
I would not look at you as a very masculine guy.
Right. So if women use their bodies to manipulate men
Oh,
and get
don't do
cooperation from
that.
men, no, you that's the accountability. We can't
So
blame. You
if a
can
woman,
blame if I'm a sucker, that's
Mhm.
my fault.
Right.
If I spend on woman and try to get her cooperation, if I spend on woman and try to get her to love me, if I spend on women and try to manipulate them, knowing they don't love me and haven't claimed and don't want to be with me, that's how I'm sending them cash apps. I'm hitting their OnlyFans. I'm a sucker to women and I'm a sucker to men, primarily to women. So if women are giving their bodies away to men for nothing in exchange, no cooperation, and trying to manipulate a man to do something doesn't want to do, the accountability falls on the woman.
Oh,
I strongly
yo.
disagree.
Which
Why we
part,
gotta be
DJ?
all?
Which part did you disagree with?
All of it. What's up?
My light skin privilege didn't work.
No, because I'm light
Damn.
skinned. That don't work over here.
Ah,
Damn.
God dang.
That
Okay, so
don't work,
what?
Albie.
Tell me which
That
one was
don't
it
work,
wrong?
Christopher.
Which one wasn't wrong? Which one was wrong? Which one
Um,
did you not agree with? I'll address
um,
that one.
if a woman is having an abortion, it's because they feel like they won't be supported in that pregnancy and for the care of that child.
I I didn't. That's not what my argument was. Is it a woman's choice whether she has a baby or not?
Of course. Is it a
Is it?
man's choice? Is it a
I,
man's choice
I'm almost done.
where he releases his seed?
Yes, to the woman who
Okay.
opens her legs to him.
Oh, okay. So it's on the woman because she opened her legs. But meanwhile, see, we're the soil, but you're the seed. Can't
That's right.
nothing grow in soil unless
Well,
you plant that seed.
you right about
So
that.
you need to make sure that you empower yourself as a seed planter and be careful where you plant your seed. If that's a woman that you don't want to marry, why are
Mm-hmm.
you planting your seed in soil that you don't want to marry?
That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't his point.
That yeah, right. You moved the point again. I can address that point after that though. But if you opening your legs to me, you're putting yourself at risk for disease. You put raw too. Not you could have told me to put a condom. It's ironic you tell a man he should have wore a condom, but shouldn't women tell a man to wear a condom too?
no,
Okay,
you a
so
grown
what's
ass man. You
so
should be
so
able to
so with the
know.
So
response
Coco,
to that, with
so,
we get
That's not
blamed
even the
no matter
topic.
what. And I'm gonna explain this because
mhm,
it's very simple.
okay.
When a woman doesn't open her legs, she gets met with a lot of aggression. We adults. You think that's realistic for me to be in a relationship? I have needs. This is the type of conversation that a woman runs into when she gets into a relationship and she say, you know what, I'd rather abstain. I want to wait. I don't want to have premarital sex. She gets looked at like she has 5 heads, right? So
So
then
mhm.
when she says, you know what, I'm in a monogamous relationship, or so I think. I feel safe in this situation. I was told that there is loyalty here, that there's monogamy here. So I'm going to open myself up to this situation because I don't necessarily need marriage, but we have a commitment, we have an understanding, we're building something together. And then the woman gets pregnant, and then all of a sudden, we're not married. And all of that other stuff goes out the window. All the niggas that talk about, I don't need a paper, I don't want to play alimony, I don't believe in paperwork, all that shit goes out the window. So it's a constant cycle of gaslighting, period. No matter how you slice it, dice it, flip it up, put it down, there is an issue with the Black man missing as a father. And I'm not talking about the fun weekend dad, the dad that takes the kids to the McDonald's every other weekend. And I'm talking about the father. And whether or not you're in the home, I'm not talking about that because that's a different conversation. I'm talking about you showing up for your kids. I'm talking about you parenting in a real way, not in an abstract way, where you're doing all the things you need to do. You're helping with the homework, you're clipping the fingernails, you're paying for the field trips, you're buying the uniforms, you're buying the winter coats, the boots, without a woman asking you. You're doing all the things that need to be done and covered. You're not complaining, you're being the leader that you say you want to be. It's not happening. You guys are saying that you want to be the leaders, but you're not showing up. You're not leading. You're not initiating. Your demographic is the least to get married to any race, not just Black women. When you go and you get involved with your preferences, they have the same issues that the Black women have with you. So is the issue the Black women, or is it you? What's the commitment issue? What's the issue with getting married? What's the issue with planning roots and having a family? Let's talk.
So that was false. That was false information. What you just said. There are 700,000 more
Show
married Black.
data that
There,
proves
there are,
that.
there are. You can Google it after I stated. I'm not doing that anymore for anybody. Like, if you really care about it, you go research it. There's
Me either. I
700,000.
have.
I didn't interrupt you. There's 700,000 more married Black men than Black women. Black women are the most divorced out of any race in any group. So even if you're telling men, this is the problem with asking men to practice discipline, asking men to be leaders, asking men to protect and provide. Women have no responsibility to the men or children. So even when men do the right thing, Black women are still divorcing them and leaving them. So it ain't about why men aren't being loving, being supportive, being given provisions. It's why are women unmarriageable and not being cooperative? You're not listening to the guy you chose to sleep with. And we know that because you don't cooperate when you single and you don't cooperate when you in a marriage. And you claim that women love men, but if women love men, they wouldn't go from man to man to man to man to man. They would have worked it out with the first guy, and they would have made that choice that first choice a good choice. So if Shannon is going to make a solution-based conversation, it would be to marry before we carry. But I'll ask Shannon this and the women on the panel this: what woman is going to agree to? Majority of women, are they agree to they won't sleep with anybody until they get married? And the answer I say is no. And Shannon knows the answer about that too. If we walk down the solutions, women don't listen to no man. They don't listen to their husband. They don't listen to their daddy, and they don't even listen to God. So it's going to be very, very difficult to get a woman to listen if she won't even listen to God. Go ahead.
So I will agree with that. But I want to go back to the stat what was the stat that you just stated?
Black women have the highest divorce rate out of any group of women.
Absolutely.
And there's 700,000 more married Black men than Black women. Black men and Black women out. There's 4 million more Black women than Black men. So we still out marry Black women, even though there's more Black women than Black men. All the other races, their women out marry the men, except for our race.
Okay, so this is 2 things, right? So when we want to compare marriage with when it comes to men, it should be compared to other men. So when she said you are the least married, she means amongst men. So so let me finish. So amongst any other race of men, right? Because Black women can, even though you are marrying more than Black women, which she's just saying, hey, out of all the men, you're the least men to be married, not in comparison to women. We're talking about amongst the races. When it comes to the divorce, and I brought this stat up a while ago, we have to be very careful when we're talking about stats, right? You are absolutely correct. Black women, I don't like, I remember Black women are 70%, 70% of the time, Black women file for divorce. But how many divorces are there? 30%. Most marriages are successful. We keep pushing this narrative. Yes, we did this, and I sent it to Trev one
Hold
time.
on, no,
Most
that's a lie.
Trev, didn't I send you that stat in your IG one time?
It's like a 49,
Yeah,
51.
I got the stats.
Success.
No, and second marriages are worse and third marriages are worse. It just keeps
Oh,
declining.
Yeah, the second and third one it drops down like 60% after the second.
I'm gonna
looking at
pull it
marriage
up.
overall. She's
And
basically
I'll
saying
send
in
it
the
again.
Black community,
I don't mind sending
out
it
of all
again.
marriages, only
Right.
30% of them are ending in divorce.
True, but Shannon
Right.
Shannon is asking for solutions, and then she's going to the fact that we're not as married as the white men, but she's not gonna she'll give us the
No, let
solution.
me finish.
But
I'm gonna get to that.
To
Hold
say.
on, y'all.
So really quick, Black women, when dating interracially, are 4 times as likely to have a successful marriage in interracial dating. So I point that out to say, once again, who is the common denominator in these situations? Now, I don't even want to sit here and play the blame game, right? But I don't like being lied on. I don't like that. So don't make me pull out these statistics because they're not in your favor. I would like to have the conversation beyond the blame game. I would like to talk about what we can do to be better and move forward as a community, because a lot of y'all talk about y'all are individualists. Y'all came down on Kim talking about she's an individualist because she don't want to have kids, but y'all are not collective. Y'all not into collectivism, because if you were, you would be having conversations about how to cover and protect the women and the children in your community, regardless if it's your wife or if it's the children that are in your house. Y'all are not really into collectivism. Y'all talk so much about individualism, but y'all don't know what that really consists of. Look at China, look at Japan. Look how they take care of each other as a community. Look how they look at the bigger picture.
Well, why you don't go to China then?
And we don't view him the same way. Like these rappers and stuff, they have 50 baby mamas, go to jail, whatever. Nobody looks down on them. So as a Black mother, to say that you're a single mom, for you to be like, oh, you don't get chose because you're a single mom, or we have to push you in this category, I think that saying those things in itself creates that conflict between men and women. I lost my husband, but he has this judgment for all single mothers, and a lot of men tend to do that. And I think that is the issue. There's no compassion. There's no nothing. It's like, you're disgusting, and this is what you guys should be doing. You should just be doing what we tell you guys to do. And they're single mothers because most of you guys made bad decisions.
I have to say to you again, brother gets help.
And that's what
I don't have
Ali,
any
I think the problem
postpartum
is
that hasn't been addressed. So
Ali, I think the problem
postpartum.
Ali, I think the problem is something that y'all kind of tangle with each other in the first probably 10 seconds you was on the panel. The light skin privilege. The fact that she is a fair-skinned or light-skinned.
Colorism alert.
Meaning that she should have a greater chance, or greater opportunities to get it right with men. And the fact that she failed makes it even worse for her.
Who failed?
Given the dark-skinned women that, because there's a colorism issue going. So when you see the ones who should have had the advantage win and they don't, then you get women like DJ out here.
Stretch Armstrong reach. Nice. Word salad. Let's move on.
So
Sweeney, can I ask you something real quick, bro? I get what you're doing, but don't you kind of feel disappointed that after all of the conversations we had, we still can't get women to check a woman when she's out of line? Clearly.
That's the worst part.
And what we'll do to each other is literally check each other, cuss each other out.
That ain't gonna work.
And we still have
that ain't gonna work.
You know what?
No, that is the worst part, because if any of us disrespected the sisters, every single man on this panel would check them. If we deliberately disrespect any of you, and that's how the sisterhood
Y'all
of the girls,
disrespect women so much.
Right.
No, we don't. No,